All right, little update for you fellas. It is Friday. Just got bit by something. It's Friday. Right now I'm at 9 miles for this week. I'm about to hit hopefully a 6-mile run. I got a rainstorm rolling in. I just did squats last night, so the legs are going into this run, a little fatigued. But I'm gonna try to put in about 5 or 6 miles today, and then hit 3 tomorrow, and finish around like 18 miles for the week. But I guess I'm about to get started, boys. Hey, rain or shine, you got to show up. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. And honestly, these runs are pretty nice. So catch you guys later. Alrighty, guys, let me show y'all something here. 6 miles at 9:04 pace. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could have seen that lightning. So the rain ended up not being that bad. I guess most of the rain had went around me because I ran that way. But 6 miles at 9:04 pace is probably a PR for me. Up until pretty recently, a long run for me has been anything over 4 or 5 miles. But I told myself, I was like, man, I'm signing up for a 50 miler. I've got a 15-mile race coming up next month. And so I was like, a 6-mile run cannot be a long run for you anymore, because usually my long run paces are like 10 to 12 minute miles. And so I told myself, if you want to get any faster, you're gonna have to stop treating 6 miles like a long run. So freaking put it down today, son. My first mile was like a 9:30, and then the farther I got, the better I felt. The last 3 or 4 miles that I hit were all sub 9-minute miles. So I was in that 8-minute range at the tail end of a 6-mile run. Freaking amazing, boys. It is good to see some progress. I am starting to feel like a runner, starting to feel strong, just good. It's so freeing to get out here and, first of all, just run with no music, no podcast, nothing. Just sit out here and enjoy the rain. I did run through a little bit of rain today. It's just so peaceful, sit out here and watch the lightning off in the distance. But to get out here and, feel smooth, feel fast, feel capable, beyond blessed, guys. Got a lot of gratitude coming after this run. And like I said, I just hit squats yesterday. Legs are still feeling that a little bit. But I felt strong yesterday on the squats too. I took 275 for a single sometime last week, and I was like, golly, son, that was hard. And then yesterday, my workout was 135 for 2 sets of 10, 225 for a set of 10, and then 275 for 5. And I got a car coming, so let me wrap this up. All right, now, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by that car, that was my squat workout yesterday. So pretty small squat workout, but I might end up with a gym membership here pretty soon. And once I start going to the gym, I'm gonna start doing some sled pushes. This gym that I'm gonna go to has a sled, like one of the tanks, with the wheels, and it rolls and you can put plates on it and shift it into different gears and whatnot. I went to the gym Tuesday this week, ran like 2 miles on a treadmill. Freaking horrible. Running on a treadmill is so boring. But yep, so might end up going to the gym. I don't know if this will be a long-term thing. Had a friend of mine hit me up and wanted to run another Tough Mudder, so I will be running a 5K Tough Mudder, or should be, unless plans fall through, in October. I'll have races 2 weekends in a row, but gonna start going to the gym for a little bit, maybe twice a week with them, and just kind of, we'll see how things pan out after the Tough Mudder, and if I want to pay the $30 a month for a gym membership. But that idea is on the table. So I'll start probably hitting more than just squats, just have a little bit more equipment to play around with at the gym. I just sucked in a bug. But sled pushes, probably box jumps, box step-ups with dumbbells, all that sort of stuff. And then just some fun full body splits, man. But I guess I'm gonna hit probably a 3-mile run tomorrow, real easy pace, and then hopefully a 10 or 11-mile run on Sunday. So putting in that work, son. I decided not to break 20 miles this week. I wanted to sort of let my body just adapt to like the 20-mile mark, because the knees have been feeling a little stiff. And I was like, I can't just keep adding on miles every week. At some point I've got to say, hey, this is a baseline, let's stick here for a little bit. But then I did the squat workout and did a bunch of Hindu squats, some of these. Did a bunch of those last night. My knees have felt great today. So may just need to start doing some more of that and putting more blood into those knees. Because I didn't have an ounce of pain today. But anyways, I'm gonna go in and hit some pull-ups for today. So on to the next one.